You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
I mean, so I was finishing up watching Cool as Ice, and as I'm taking notes and just watching the whole film, it just occurred to me, for some reason, Sean pops in my head. I'm thinking Sean would be perfect for this.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it one of my personal favorites, but it was a film that was so of the moment and of the zeitgeist that you can't help but look at it as just the complete parody of everything it was.
But not intentionally.
Yeah, but not intentionally. But there's a couple points that I'd like to go into that at some point that I think are relevant today. That when you look back at the film,
let me stop you first on that. First of all, let me point out that's the first time the word zeitgeist has ever been used on Moviesucktastic.
Fantastic.
So I'm very happy now. You made me a happy person. I have one thing I have to grab. Sean, would you give us the what do you call it? The synopsis for the film? Just give us a breakdown of what the film is about.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. The movie is more or less. It's more or less just a marketing ploy for Rob Van Winkle at the time, who was known. He was known as Vanilla Ice at the time, and more or less, Vanilla Ice is just like this badass biker guy who just rides into town on his fucking motorcycle, and he comes in, and he fucks up the whole town because he's so awesome, and he gets into a fight, and if you look at the movie poster, the girl looks like Justine Bateman, and somehow some corrupt cops become involved with this, and at this point, in the film, the best thing about this film is that you really have to have a good sense of suspension of disbelief to understand anything that's going on with this film.
Suspension of disbelief has to come in to even sit through this movie.
Multiple times I tried to disbelieve I was actually watching the film. Does that count?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just want to point something out very quickly. Whenever you watch movies from any era, for that matter, where the daughter is going out or seeing the bad boy, and the parents always disagree, they always think he's a bad influence, they actually get it right. Everyone that treats Vanilla Ice in any way during this film is right. The way he talks, the way he acts, you have to disagree. Sir,
here's my question. This is in my notes. How come
you really think that Vanilla Ice is a good choice for this girl?
No. Here's my point.
Okay.
Why did the screenwriter feel it was necessary to create this confusion that Vanilla Ice is in cahoots with these gangsters that are after the father? Why does he feel that the father needs this kind of motivation to forbid her from seeing him, except from the fact that it's him?
Well,
it's like
to be honest,
no.
He's okay. He's trying to be a screenwriter. He's trying to, and failing miserably, add somewhat of a plot to this story. That's all that really is, because you want to punch your screen. Okay? When he jumps the fence and knocks her off the horse and almost pulls a Christopher Reeve on her.
Mm-hmm.
She punches him in the stomach. And he says, and he talks like a 14-year-old. That's essentially how he verbalizes with her.
Well,
I'll live.
Much older than that at the time.
Yes. We were 15, I think, when this movie came out. 1991.
I was in high school. I know because I wrote.
We were all in high school.
I was in high school too.
We were all in.
There you go.
No, I think the way everyone treats Vanilla Ice is appropriate. He's a douchebag. He talks like a moron. His fucking bike glows in the dark. Fuck him.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, isn't it really all her fault?
Oh, it's completely her fault.
She's a slut.
Okay, allow me to interject with a personal story, if you will.
Oh, sir.
Please do.
I remember, like, it was a couple years after this, and I would go to the pipeline in Newark, and I met this girl who I thought was, like, really cute, and she took me and, like, we kind of made overtures to each other, whatever, you know, I'll skip all the long sordid details, but she took me home to meet her parents, and her parents loved me and thought I was great because I actually had career ambitions, and then we went to go see Outbreak, and she gave me a hand job during Outbreak.
Now, what part of Outbreak?
I don't know, but
Was
I
Kevin
remember
Spacey turning to goo?
I mean, because now I understand being a teenager in high school, there's little motivation needed, but a film about a virus outbreak that pretty much makes you bleed from the inside out. I'm trying to think what part of that film was the least conducive.
I was trying to zone out, but she gave a really good hand job.
Sir, what does this have to do with Vanilla Ice?
Okay, what it has to do with Vanilla Ice is this. Is that if she had played it smart, she would have had a decoy boyfriend. Because this girl who gave me the hand job during Outbreak only brought me home so that she could tell her parents that she was going out with Sean, who they approved of. And meanwhile, she was fucking with some dirtbag behind my back.
I'm slightly disappointed because I was hoping that Sean's response would be, there's no real reason. I just wanted to talk about getting a hand job while watching Outbreak in the theater.
Well, yeah, that was part of it, actually. I have a lot of interesting stories and interesting times in my life.
Most of them involving hand jobs.
There you go.
But I can remember, Scott, you remember this in 1991? I think that was the year I got the brown recluse spider bite in Bloomfield High School gym.
That was the volleyball all-nighter?
Did you get the bite? You got it at the high school?
Yeah, I got it while sleeping on the bleachers, and I should have sued them into oblivion. But I got bit by a brown recluse spider and survived it, so that was awesome. But anyway, back to Cool as Ice. I know that was the worst segue ever.
Trying to find my copy of Mongoloid Moose. I wish I had time. I have them all.
Oh, God.
I'm looking for the Cool as Ice review from the Mongoloid Moose from
well, that's the one that's
from 21 years ago.
That's the one that was printed in the high school newspaper, which I'm trying to find right now while we're talking. I
have it somewhere. I thought I had it near me.
I have all the school newspapers that I wrote in, and I thought I had it. It should be here somewhere. I'm going to keep looking while we talk.
You do that.
Yes, yeah.
Mitch Schmidt sucks.
Definitely.
Yeah, Mitch Schmidt sucks.
But anyway, it's Ice.
Okay.
Back to Cool as Ice.
Okay, back to Cool as Ice. So on Cool as Ice, this is a marketing vehicle for Rod Van Winkle, and I find it hysterical that his name is Johnny Van Owen in the movie.
That's right. That's
they get the van
God.
for some reason.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This movie is a 90-minute music video. That's all it is.
Maybe it's just because he was prescient and he had visions of the future when he knew that he would be living in the van down by the river in the future, and that's why he kept the word van in there.
Oh, maybe. You never know.
If they were prescient, they would have been able to predict that everyone would be sleeping in a van after this film. No one that was involved in the film did much afterwards. David Kellogg, the director, was pretty much beforehand. He was directing Playboy, Playmate, like documentaries.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his first, and these were all like direct-to-video Playmate videos from Playboy, and the first.
Okay.
His directorial debut was Cool as Ice, and after that he went back to doing Playboy directorial things, and then the only other film he directed in the theaters was Inspector Gadget.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, holy shit!
Jeez.
Oddly enough,
I thought I had that.
That's not good.
Yeah. Wow. It's like a pin just dropped.
It's a career ender.
Yeah.
This movie is what you call a career ender.
for everybody involved,
including what's his face from
the father from Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Yeah. No, he was in Tremors after that.
Well,
he was
right.
in
No, he had a
Tremors.
comeback.
No. He was in Tremors the year before in 1990.
What was that before?
Yeah, but he was the director.
I'm almost positive. Michael
What's
Gross.
Yeah, was part two?
Yeah, Michael Gross.
Was part two
Hold
a
on.
direct-to-video sequel?
Yes, it was. Tremors was in 1990, so that came out the summer before.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I mean, he's consistently working. He's still working to this day. So
he was the only person who looked like they knew what they were doing in the film.
that's right. That's right.
Can I ask a couple questions about his character, by the way?
Sure.
All right. First of all, this is the father, and you get the father from Family Ties, so we're really typecasting here. Here's the question: he has this big secret, and then the big secret turns out to be that when I was a rookie cop, I informed upon these other crooked cops, and so they put us in the witness relocation program.
Which I don't understand. Why didn't they just
that's not
fucking
really a federal thing?
Right? Well, that and the fact that why didn't they just arrest the bad cops and hey, he gets to keep his job.
I think they did, but also they put them under witness relocation. I mean, they're a little foggy on that, whether they actually served time. I'm thinking they did. Here's my question.
Did they do that for Frank Serpico? I don't think so.
Well, no.
I mean, what the hell would this guy be?
And he was actually busting, criminals, not just crooked cops.
That's
so
right.
here's my question. He's the father of this family, and you went under the witness relocation program, and then the two guys that he informed upon show up and start harassing him and threatening him. Wouldn't you call the authorities that put you under the witness relocation program?
Oh, right. Instead of trying to handle it on your own.
Don't they do follow-ups on that?
Yeah. I believe they do.
I'm pretty sure he could call and say, you know what, they found me. Say, okay, we'll take care of it. I mean, I'm just assuming that.
If you're still in the witness relocation program, yes. They're going to help you out.
I found it.
Where was that supposed to take place?
White America.
Okay, but the thing is, depending
looks
on the
like-
state, if it's a stand your ground state, you have the right, if they're on your front porch, to just shoot them and kill them and say that they were threatening you.
Oh, I'm sure of it. It looks to me like it's like suburbia, like maybe Ohio or Indiana or something like that. That's what it looks like.
White America.
Well, don't they always put you out in the Midwest in when you're in the relocation program?
I don't remember the last time I was in the witness relocation program, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends on which movie we're playing, like, the rules by. Like, are we playing by, like, My Blue Heaven kind of rules?
Or is it like Goodfellow rules?
Actually, compared to this, My Blue Heaven is Goodfellas.
Yeah. It's a very good analogy, actually.
Why, thank you, sir. I have another one. What I write down here? This film was like a cross between Footloose and The Pest with a dash of Edward Scissorhands.
Oh my!
Does that work? No.
No.
Was that a stretch?
No.
Was that a stretch?
Look, it's a little.
Come on! You just the sound effects when they meet the bad guys and he pulls the gun out of his pants and they go.
Or how about just the sound effects for anything, like when she punches him in the stomach?
It's like a cartoon.
Or
yeah,
it is like a cartoon.
Okay, I just want to say one. I want to go on record with one thing here. that
We're recording.
one thing that you can tell even by looking at the film poster, which I'm looking at right now. Bikers have been fairly consistent in their dress and appearance for several decades. But this is the one time like bikers can just look back and just get really pissed off because he's wearing jeans that are painted with like graffiti on it. And as far as I know, there were a lot of like racist motorcycle organizations back then. And motorcycle organizations tended to be more like white kind of, you know, like
white-ish.
white influences. We make crank. We hang out, you know, blah blah blah. But he's wearing painted jeans that are painted with like the colors of Africa on it, and he's got this terrible ass jacket, and he has a haircut that, you know, would be revived by the Jersey Shore. And if you look at the poster, it's him against the lamest looking motorcycle I've ever seen. Like, it's the shittiest motorcycle I've ever seen, like, ever. And it's yellow and blue.
It looks like
really,
it's
guys?
just...
Was that the one that was on sale at the friggin' dealership?
It looks like your run-of-the-mill garbage Suzuki or a Ninja, just whatever crap was popular in 1991.
Now his jacket.
And in the background, by the way, is a girl who looks exactly like friggin' like Justine Bateman.
Would you go Justine Bateman, or would you go what's her face? The chick from No. She was a chick in Johnny Handsome with Mickey Rourke. She was also in Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh,
the
her.
fuck was... Yes, her.
Now, did you notice his jacket? I mean, it has all those slogans over it, and what it basically is... Yeah, all
of his slogans.
Right, so what he had is he had his hip catchphrases on his jacket, so if he couldn't think of something to say, he would just, like, you know, glance over at his shoulder or arm and pick up a hip line from there. That's why Yeah Baby's on his back, because he remembers that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he remembers, like, words.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
And what's on his jeans? What does that say on his jeans? Hang on, I have to zoom in on this. I don't even know what this says on his fucking jeans, dude.
Elizabeth McGovern is who I'm thinking of.
The crotch is yellow, and it makes it look like he has a vagina.
Sean, Elizabeth McGovern is who I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her.
I think she looked... Sean... or Scott, I mean. Look her up, you'll know who I'm talking about. She's she's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah, like Johnny Dangerously.
No. Like Johnny Handsome.
That's what I said.
Don't fuck around.
She's hot. I remember her.
I remember her in Once Upon a Time in America, where she's 20, and then they shoot fast forward where she's supposed to be in her 50s, and all they did was give her gray hair.
That does the trick.
They didn't do any makeup on her face. They did not do any makeup on her face. They just gave her gray hair.
Since we're talking about Vanilla Ice's clothing, can I point out the fact that at the end, pretty much when it wraps up, what seems to happen is that he takes the girl from her Midwestern home, returns to the city, and then also returns to a life of crime as Two-Face. He's wearing that whole suit where half of it's like yellow and the other half is this crazy red mix. And
Can I point something out real quick? Earlier in the film, where they go to the construction site and they have that whole 4 or 5 minute music video montage.
Wait, that's montage number...
like 11.
How many montages are in the film, sir? Come on.
Easily between 7 and 10.
Not counting the opening and closing, which are really more like credit sequences. There are 7 montages.
7.
7.
Jesus
The one you're
Christ.
talking about is montage number 4. That's the Footloosey playing in the abandoned construction site.
Right.
Montage.
Now, this is going to shit on the movie. I mean, this is the whole suspension of disbelief. But because this movie is so bad, I can't forgive it. Because later on in the movie, when Vanilla Ice becomes super detective, when they're listening back on the tape, And the kid is giving his saying that "come and get me." If you don't, then I'll disappear. Kind of plea. Well, Vanilla Ice, he rewinds it. He goes, "What is that in the background?" And then thump, thump, thump. Rewinds it. What is that? Thump, thump, thump. And then out of nowhere, it's the construction site. You mean the abandoned one you were at earlier when there was no construction going on?
Well, there was construction because when they first pull up, the camera has that big thumping thing in the foreground where it goes boom, boom, boom. So that's going to come up later.
What are you talking
it's
about?
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. That's called foreshadowing, Joey.
Did they actually have a thump, thump, thump?
Yes, they did when they first pull up, yes.
I don't remember that.
That's because you weren't paying attention.
So
maybe.
now he's freaking Batman, too.
Now I feel stupid. How can I feel stupid after, more stupid after watching Cool as Ice? Look what you did to me, man.
Well,
you could have just agreed with me.
What I want to know is how hard was it to be the guy holding up the cue cards for him at that time? Because he'd be like, like, Gouda step? What is that? And then he'd probably have to be in his line of sight, like 24/7.
Sir, are you implying that Vanilla Ice did not memorize his lines?
Absolutely.
Oh, he is a professional. Of course, he's going to memorize his lines. How could he forget his lines if he memorizes all these excellent lyrics to his songs?
You, sir, give the man too much credit.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are two different revenue streams involved here.
The girl, the love interest,
film was primarily made to sell an album.
Pretty much, he did the whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
And
it.
that led to him getting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 gig, right?
Yeah.
Or was that before?
No,
was
Teenage
before,
Mutant
wasn't
Ninja Turtles 2. See, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out in 90, and Ninja Turtles 2 came out in 92. So, yes,
Yeah, it was
this came
afterwards.
first, and then Ninja Turtles was right after.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
That
he
was
had proven himself as a competent actor.
Kristen Minter, who is the love interest, she's actually still working,
Yeah.
which
She was
played
in a
Catherine.
hospital.
That's right.
And what about in the beginning with freaking what's her face? That Naomi Campbell.
Oh, yeah,
Backup singer?
special appearance by Naomi Campbell. That's what it says.
Yeah.
No, that's the opening musical sequence.
Mm-hmm.
I need to point out that there's that one shot where he's singing into the lantern
Yeah.
on stage, and immediately I thought of Blue Velvet.
Oh, really?
The whole apartment party sequence, and
Right.
at that point I realized that I knew exactly which party I'd rather be at. I think I'd rather be at the one with the alcoholics with guns as the guy pantomimes into the microphone as opposed to. Yeah, and that's
I'd rather be at the last party of the Heaven's Gate away team.
Does anyone, without looking at the IMDb, does anyone want to guess what the overall rating was?
I have it open, so I'm cheating.
Oh, shit. Sean?
I'm gonna say it's not very good. And I'm gonna say it probably got like a 2-something or 3-something.
Yeah, it's one of the lowest ones. One of the lowest ones I've seen. I think the only one I've seen lower was probably Super Babies.
Well, it's the bottom 100. It's number 83.
Or Baby Geniuses. It is in the bottom 100. It's 2.3. Pretty bad.
Now,
Really?
the opening sequence, again, I mentioned that. Remember after the music, when the first shot of the film actually is the camera weaving through these swinging, dangling light bulbs in the in the dark warehouse? It's almost like if for a split second the film decides it wants to be a real film.
There's a bunch of scenes that are like that. Not a lot, but there is a few where at one point it's like the assistant director said, fuck this. I'm going to try and do something good here.
They probably just got bored.
I just looked this up, right? And this is because I'm such a huge fan of the movie Coven and American Movie.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
has a higher score than this film by more than 2 points.
Not American movie, but Coven.
Yeah,
Coven.
Coven.
Coven has
Coven.
the higher. Well, yeah. At least Coven has like interesting characters.
Coven is a 4.5.
Oh my.
Do you have any favorite lines from the film?
Favorite
anything
lines.
that comes out of like his grandfather's mouth.
No, not Coven. Cold as ice.
It's okay. It's alright.
Would it be so cool if he pulled up next to Vanilla Ice while he's riding on the motorcycle? When he rides alongside the horse, the grandfather pulls up too. It's gonna be okay.
It'll be alright. You know, honestly, if they wanted to spare the audience, if you ask me how this movie, if in reality, the movie would probably just end with like, it would be a 20-minute long movie, and it would end with like Rob Van Winkle date raping her.
But as far as
I'm half an hour in the film, I'm thinking, how come like the local sheriff hasn't kicked this guy's ass and planted coke on him yet?
Yeah, I know.
Like, and you know, and first of all, it's like white, it's like suburban white backwards America, like they painted up. He rides into town with 3 blacks, and he's the one that gets all the attention.
yeah. How about the guy in the car who's getting all angry because they're blocking traffic, and he's like, "Rrr, rrr," and then they all stand up, and he's like, "Oh shit."
That's before the montage of shocked onlookers watch as they pass by.
That is right.
How many times do you think the director said the phrase, "Just looks slack-jawed at the camera as it passes you"?
Oh yeah.
I hope he didn't use the phrase "shock and awe."
I was shocked and awed.
This is shock and awe assault. But he does dress like a clown.
It's at the scene. It's at the scene in the movie where they go to the sugar shack, and
Yeah.
there's that horrible band up on stage, which, in my opinion, is doing. I found them to be 10 times better than anything Vanilla Ice does in the whole film. Just because at least what they're singing is comical. That's how I felt towards it.
Well, when you get to scenes like that where you have this like amazingly, it's almost like you're watching a Pauly Shore film.
Right.
Which, well, honestly, if you just took the film and put Pauly Shore in Vanilla Ice's place, it'd be a 10-time better movie. And that says more about Vanilla Ice than it does Pauly Shore.
I hate to agree with that.
Isn't it like Pauly Shore made that movie like 5 times, where it's like him and Culture Shock?
Yeah.
Like In the Army Now, like
Right.
that Cherry City movie.
Or Son-in-Law, which I actually liked, I have to admit.
Really?
Yeah,
Son-in-Law had its moments.
It does. They play it on
projected
country music television constantly.
I saw it 30 times. It grew on me. But, I mean, you get the feeling watching the movie that it's almost like Vanilla Ice wrote it himself, because there's really nothing to it just except, okay, let's put this really goofy, wacky, lame band, and then put nerdy people in the audience, and then Vanilla Ice is going to jump in and like, oh, look, I'm all cool and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
He's not that fucking cool.
it's like 3 steps away
Not
from
now, at least.
It's 3 steps removed from air guitaring in front of your mirror in your bedroom. It's really that like narcissistic.
Yeah.
Take it on a serial level. I mean,
No. According to IMDb, this film, a rap-oriented remake of Rebel Without a Cause, with heavy emphasis on the fact that rap star Vanilla Ice has assumed the James Dean role.
how is it? Is it because he's on a bicycle? Is that it?
It's because he's a I don't know.
way-
He's a fish out of water. He's in a different town. He's different. Nobody likes him. Everyone perceives him as a rebel, so to say, and he's
Big
quote
Adventure.
unquote not.
I've never been so
Oh,
happy.
no, listen to this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
If you have checked the Wikipedia page, the director of photography of the film was future Schindler's List and Minority Report cinematographer, Janusz Kaminski.
Get out of here.
He was the one fucking with the light bulbs.
And the role of Cassie was originally offered to future Academy Award winner for Best Actress, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And her father, Bruce Paltrow, forbade her from accepting it due to the script's sexual content.
What sexual content?
Why? Because she's in her bedroom with a t-shirt?
Oh, all right, hold on. I have two questions about the bedroom scene. When she wakes up, first, two questions, and I have to post these directly after one another. One, how many teenage girls calmly arise from slumber when they awaken to have someone shoving a cube of ice in their mouth? when they went to bed alone. And two, where the fuck did he get the ice cube?
Yeah, exactly. And how is it not completely
How
melted?
long did he have the ice cube before he stuck it in her mouth and it didn't melt completely?
He keeps it around just in case, I guess. It's like a emergency ice cube.
Wow, this cinematographer is Steven Spielberg's bitch. Holy shit. Did Steven Spielberg fucking save this guy's career or what? Holy fuck.
Dude, he took pity on the man. The guy probably asked him after this film, he asked Steven Spielberg, he probably said, hey, are you going to finish that
sandwich? Listen to this. Okay, he did Cool as Ice, all right? Then he did a TV movie. Then he did All the Love in the World, Mad Dog Call, Trouble Bound, Adventures of Huck Finn, Class of 61, then Schindler's List. And then from Schindler's List on, he was essentially just waiting for Spielberg to make movies because he did just little shits in between, you know, and little shits like Jerry Maguire and, Lost World, Amistad, Saving Private Ryan, AI. I mean, he's done every Spielberg film since Schindler's List.
I can see it now. I can see Spielberg at home at like 2 a.m. and Cool as Ice comes on cable and he sits there for half an hour and he just picks up the phone and the secretary that's on 24-hour call answers and he just says, give me the cinematographer for this film. And that was it. It was just because you can see the camera work in this.
He literally went from Cool as Ice to Schindler's List.
I'm sorry, what?
He probably has the power to fuck with people's lives like that. Like, maybe he was, like, rolling, like, a six-sided die, and he goes, yeah, this guy. You know? He probably just opened up a phone book and, like, pointed at something.
He just calls people drunk at 2 a.m. Green Light Battleship. What? Green Light Battleship, I'm telling you.
Now, his real name is Janusz.
Becomes powerful.
The drunk with power.
That's the case of Robert Van Winkle.
His real name is Janusz Kaminski, and I'm just looking at his career. He did the cinematography for a film called Killer Instinct in 1991, where he used the alias Jennifer Stoltz.
He had to wear a wig on set for that one.
I just don't understand. Why would he use Jennifer Stoltz for Cool as Ice?
I don't know. Maybe he thought Cool as Ice was going to be a commercial success.
Oh my God. Killer Instinct 4.5 starring Scott Valentine.
Can I? Oh, Scott Valentine.
Oh my God. Yeah. Are you serious? I've been, dude, for like years, I've been asking myself if Scott Valentine was in any other roles besides My Demon Lover.
My Demon Lover!
He might as well not be.
Yeah.
Do you see the size of that son of a bitch?
That's not the best. No, that's the best line. It was you remind me of my wife. Well, thank you, the bitch.
I don't remember it. I was gonna buy it from the VHS Preservation Society.
Oh, that's still not available?
Dude, I don't know. I'm sure it's a torrent somewhere.
I have a copy.
You do?
I have a copy.
Wow.
You need to share that copy, you son of a bitch.
I will make sure you get a copy of that, sir.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
And
that's how deals are done in America, ladies and gentlemen.
It's who you know.
Well, I remember when we were over your house, we were watching, we watched The Keep, and you had that copy of The Legend of Billie Jean, and I had an infinitely clearer copy that I knew you had to have. So I remember I sent that to you, And I'm so glad that I did, because if you're going to watch The Legend of Billie Jean, you should be watching it in high def.
Oh, and also,
I agree.
in a future episode, when we do review The Keep, finally, Sean will have to join us for that as well.
Absolutely.
May I interject? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to
Go right ahead, motherfucker.
To steer us back towards Cool as Ice by saying I've never before in my life been so happy to see someone riding without a motorcycle helmet.
Well, I mean...
Well, there's so much lacquer in his hair.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't have had any effect.
Right.
It's like in Police Academy, which one was it? Like 4 with Captain Mauser when they put that Tackleberry's helmet fucking with his hair? It's Captain Mauser, and he's in the shower going, and they call me Mauser, Mauser. And his fucking hand glued to his head, and you have to walk around a precinct naked. That's probably what he puts in his hair.
I remember that scene well.
May I point out this is the first
Police
time
Academy 2, their
Police
first
Academy
assignment. Police Academy 2.
That's 2?
Their first assignment. That's what it was called.
I think it's the first time that Police Academy 2 has been referenced as well. So
it's the first time Police Academy's been referenced. Come on.
But not part 2.
No, that was Citizens on Patrol?
That was the third one. That was with Bobcat Goldthwait.
No, 2 is with Bobcat Goldthwait. And then 3.
2? No, listen to me.
2 introduces Bobcat Goldthwait, and 3 he stars in it, right?
No. Yes. In number 2, he's he's in a gang. Okay, and he's a bad guy. And that's right. Police Academy 2, their first assignment. Police Academy 3 is when he decides to get out of the gang and join the police force, and that's called Citizens on Patrol.
This is the saddest conversation I've been in a while.
Okay, which one? Okay, the actor's name who played Captain Mauser is Art Metrano. Why I know this, I really don't fucking know.
Okay, what's your question?
I have no fucking clue, dude. Hang on. I'm pretty sure it's Art Metrano, and if I'm right, I might as well just kill myself now. Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, I was right, dude. You first to put, yes, Police Academy 2.
Police Academy 2. He just comes out of nowhere. And he's the new chief. And the third one is Citizens on Patrol. The fourth one I can't remember for some reason. The fifth one I know is Miami Beach. And then the sixth one is the one with something big city or some shit like that.
Isn't 4 Back in Training?
Oh, was that Mission to Moscow?
Yeah.
No, that was number 7. Number 7.
Moscow, right?
7 was Mission to the Moscow one.
Oh.
Yeah, and 6 was the sign of Miami Beach?
Number 5 is Miami Beach.
Okay, fuck.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, you got Police Academy 2, their first assignment, Police Academy 3, Back in Training, Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol.
I was right.
Police Academy, that was number 3. Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach, and Police Academy 6, City Under Siege. I knew it had city in there. And then there's Police Academy 7.
That one actually had a funny scene in it. I actually laughed once during that. Because, okay, on an assignment Miami Beach, I laughed when the fucking, who was Harris's little toady? Whatever. But it
Proctor? It was Proctor.
Toady guy? Yeah,
Wasn't it Proctor?
Proctor fell asleep at the beach and they wrote dork and suntan lotion on him.
Yeah.
And
that was the trailer.
And he got really sunburned. And he was walking around and people going, "Hey, dork, what's up, dork?" So I kind of laughed at that because the people sounded like they had Canadian accents. And they're like, "Hey, dork, what's up, dork?" And the other time, in City Under Siege, I remember that the city was under attack. Was it Metro City? That's what it was called? I'm fucking right? The
I was
city
kind of
was under
assuming that
attack.
too. I think so. I think it was under siege, actually.
Yeah, under siege. The city was under siege.
City under
Sorry,
siege was the
for my
sixth one.
terminology there. The city was under siege. And
That
what
was the
happened
one with the
was
rubber
that
mask.
The guy who was running, who was pulling the strings, was like pulling the strings, right? Sorry, that was like actually my attempt at doing a Bela Lugosi reference. To promote Scott Wilson's book, The World I Lugosi, available with Amazon. And that was my impression of Martin Landau doing
Bela Lugosi.
Pulling the strings.
Pulling the
Yeah.
strings.
But I digress. I want to get a product placement for Scott there.
Thank you, sir.
So there's a guy who's like behind the scenes, who's orchestrating the siege, and the people who are running it, they're like, "We want to give you gifts, sir." So they give him a box of cigars, and he's like, "Thank you," and he lights one, and it explodes, and his hat just goes like an inch off his head. And I thought that was hysterical for some reason. But they get me with stupid gags like that. I don't know.
I'm going to steer this once again back to Cool as Ice.
Oh, God.
I'm going to... I'm sorry. I have to. I'm going to tie us in, though, because you mentioned that scene where they kept calling the guy Dork.
Right.
The scene... I have to bring this up. The scene where Vanilla Ice finds the guy he keeps calling Tick. There's my tie-in there. The boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And they're smashing up his friends' motorcycles, and he takes them all on single-handedly.
Yeah, and then he jumps that guy's car with his motorcycle.
That's at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he jumps the motorcycle at the end. But during that brawl, every single person that attacks Vanilla Ice with the baseball bats swings them one-handed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I mean, obviously he's going to win the fight, and obviously it's going to be choreographed that way. But why would you? Who swings a bat one-handed in a brawl? It was just too awkward, even for the film.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just had to.
It's pretty. I mean, there's some scenes like, I'm not going to talk about the fight choreography or anything technical involving this film. Because I really want to stress to the audience how devoid of any style or substance this film is.
Except for that opening shot.
Yeah, you know what? It's not even, I wouldn't even call it like a good, bad movie. It's just bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you agree?
Well, it depends
I absolutely agree.
Depends on how much you like the music.
Oh.
And get up. You know, it's not bad.
How much is that a ripoff of CNC Music Factory anyway?
100%. I don't know.
Sean, comment?
I agree 100%, and I think that to your point earlier about the band, which was just generic, and
Oh, yeah.
it was kind of like the comedy thing, they couldn't get like any band that would upstage Vanilla Ice.
Any band would.
Right.
Yeah, any band would.
It could have been Hootie and the Blowfish, you know?
Right. All right. So, are we done with Cool as Ice? Do we want to go to a break?
I have a couple more things. I just want to get
All
some
right.
stuff
Sure.
digested.
Sure.
Now, I asked before, did you have a favorite phrase from the film? Were there any lines that stuck out in your head?
Well, I mean, you know,
Besides the trailer one, dump the zero and get with the
right.
hero.
You know what? I liked anything that the two dirty cops said. Seriously, especially when they break into the house and the kid's like, "I'm calling 911." He goes, "Call 911. 911." He's telling him to call. He's telling him what the number for 911 is, and he knows it. I think that's my favorite line.
I had.
I would say, go ahead, Scott.
No, after you, sir.
Oh, I would say that my favorite line was not spoken, but it was written, and it was the final part of the end credits.
Oh, that was the "Be cool, stay in school," or
Yeah.
that's before he tips his hat or something at the end.
As soon as the end credits, I made it through the end credits, and that was it.
Yeah, and there's a quick shot of him like on the back of the motorcycle adjusting his hat.
Right.
Because the only reason anyone would watch this film is either one, to make fun of it, or two, to try to like parody it. Actually, they'd watch it as a time capsule, because it's a time capsule of 1991 when Vanilla Ice had a fucking doll and a CD to sell and some other shit. And I think this led to him having sex with Madonna.
Did he actually have sex with Madonna?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Textbook.
Come on, how hard? She was doing research for the book. Come on, how hard would it have been?
I guess so.
Now, Sean, you say you
Now
can't.
He hangs out with the Insane Clown Posse now.
Oh, there you go. Because he has so much in common with them.
He has a reality show where he's a contractor and he fucking fixes people's houses.
That's a redeeming thing. I'm cool with that.
Did anyone watch the season of Surreal Life with him on it?
No,
I didn't see it. Yeah,
I watched the whole season. This is a man consumed by rage.
Oh, he hates the vanilla. He hates the fact that he was Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, he does. This is a man who hates his own past.
Doesn't mind the $30 or the $40 million that he made, and still has. Doesn't mind that though.
Hey, at least it's not like MC Hammer where he lost it all.
I actually have in the break. I have a 3-minute clip of a piece of documentary that they did about him and how he talks about selling out and everything. It's actually pretty interesting.
Well, let me bring this up real quick.
All right.
I don't know if you want to do this before or after the break. Sean, you say that you can't imagine why anybody would have actually seen the film.
Yeah.
What if you're a young high school student who wants to write a movie review for the school paper, but you have to watch a PG-13 film, and at that time the only two PG-13 films playing locally are Cool as Ice and Unnecessary Roughness?
I saw Unnecessary Roughness. It was enjoyable at the time at the Royal Theater.
Yes.
In Bloomfield, New Jersey.
And what else?
The Royal Theater.
And the other film playing at the Royal Theater at the time was Cool as Ice.
Yeah, so I have to chalk it up to youthful indiscretions. That I actually went and saw that film in the theater.
Well,
because that's another movie you could say, like, well, football fans would go see that movie, of course. But
which is why I didn't go to that.
Yeah, and you know what? In the end,
you don't like Sinbad? You don't like Sinbad? What's wrong with you?
But my point is that I did that just to review it for the school newspaper, which is the first movie review I ever wrote. And I have it in front of me. If you guys want, I would like to read this to see how good of a writer I was at age 17.
I would love to hear it.
Go for it.
Now or after the break?
Okay.
Yeah.
All I want to preface with this is a review for Cool as Ice that I wrote for the high school newspaper in November of 1991. So this was written over 20 years ago, and I have not read it until just now. I haven't even glanced at it yet. So I have no idea how bad this is, but I figured this is historic, so I wanted to read this. Here we go. So it's Cool as Ice Can't Take the Heat. That's my clever title there.
So, okay.
By Scott Wilson. Here we go. When the news was first released that rap singer Vanilla Ice was to be starring in his own movie, many film critics and music fans compared him to Elvis Presley, who starred in 21 movies between 1961 and 1968, saying that Ice was destined to be a modern-day Elvis. But Cool as Ice has yet to measure up to Blue Hawaii, as the audience turnout has been minimal at best, with the box office intake not even making it to the top 60 list in Variety. This is before the internet, by the way. If a movie's opening week is as important as most major motion picture companies imply, then Cool as Ice is doomed to be rushed out of the theaters before Thanksgiving. Cool as Ice opens in an empty warehouse dance club where Vanilla Ice performs his title song. Immediately after his performance, Ice and his three friends are shown riding motorcycles cross-country. No explanation is ever given as to why they are traveling cross-country, where they are going, where they are now, or where they just came from. Although the latter is assumed to be New York City, the location that Ice has built his mass media image around. Ice then gets the plot moving along by falling in love with the girl he nearly kills while showing off on his motorcycle. As luck would have it, one of their motorcycles breaks down, and they are stranded in what is portrayed as a socially backwards country town. They then remain in town to the dismay of the local populace while the bike is repaired by a friendly couple who not only offer to fix it for no charge, but also provide them with free room and board while they do so. The plot to Cool as Ice is similar to the movie Footloose, except whereas Footloose was a believable drama that attempted to deliver a moral lesson, Cool as Ice is merely a 1.5-hour journey through a Vanilla Ice ego trip. No outstanding characterization is given to any of the other supporting actors, and those who are introduced are typical 10-cent cardboard cutout characters, the girl's parents, who are kind and loving but don't understand her feelings and needs, the boyfriend who is popular and liked by all, but in reality is a violent alcoholic manipulator, the little brother who idolizes Vanilla Ice, cutting his hair like Ice's and urging his sister to date him, and who continues to look into the camera throughout the film. And Ice's friends, who only show up whenever he needs someone to sing backup. Anyone who is not his personal friend or love interest is portrayed as a hopeless waste of life in one way or another, even to the point where all of the teenage extras in the background of the local dance club are dressed in loud clothes from the 50s and 70s, complete with Mortimer Snerd glasses and bow ties. Fans of Vanilla Ice who are willing to sit through 90 minutes of rehashed situations and trite dialogue to watch him dance and sing all of the way through may actually enjoy this film. But for those who want the music without the movie, the best strategy would be to wait for it to hit video so that they can utilize the greatest invention since sliced bread, the fast-forward scan button. Obviously,
awesome.
I had not developed my wit at that point, so...
Yeah.
I must say...
Honestly,
yeah?
It's like, okay, I had 3 reactions when I was hearing that. Number 1, I'm hearing it like a young Robert Christgau. Right there.
Okay. I can understand that.
Kudos to you.
Is there a number 2?
Yes. Number 2. I played your voice through my head and put it in the voice of Morley Safer at one point. And it was very 60-minute-esque as well.
That's because there's no wit there. That's why.
Yeah, but you know what? It also reminds me eerily, number 3, of, and I don't know if you're going to be familiar with this name, Keith Morrison.
Vaguely.
He is my favorite narrator and interviewer on Dateline NBC because he makes everything vaguely creepy.
I can do that.
The way he talks, he's like they'll be doing a special about a girl who got murdered, and they'll be like, and he'll do it like, the way her hair hung in the breeze. I'm not even kidding, dude. It's like he makes it like he knew her, but he's really creepy about it. And who's responsible for this web of deceit?
The only kudo I want to give myself is as I'm reading this, I have like I mentioned where it was on the variety list and mentioning how many films Elvis Presley did. This was before Wikipedia and like IMDb and stuff. This is the 90s. I just pulled that shit out of my ass, like around 91, 92.
Right.
We didn't have.
That's impressive.
21 years ago, still good.
That's for me. That's the most impressive part of what is basically a bland review. I couldn't. It's a high school paper, though. I couldn't have gotten away with anything wacky.
Probably not.
Yeah, but it doesn't even come off as like a high school review. It comes off as witty and snarky and informative.
Well, I think you know what it is. It's just like the reviews we have on this show, but I don't say fuck as much.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Should we go ahead and move on to the top 10?
What's our verdict on Cool as Ice? Good movie, bad movie? Just kidding.
Fucking,
not
yeah.
terrible.
Okay.